Hello, everybody. This is Coach Bala here. Welcome to yet another episode of Reflections, our podcast series. For those of you who are listening or hearing about this Reflections podcast series for the first time, what we do here in Reflections podcast is we invite, as part of our training program, we invite fellow runners, luminaries, folks who are connected in this field about fitness, physical fitness, mental fitness, who are connected in this field. We bring them here and we try to understand who they are as a person, their motivations, and what we can learn from them. Because we believe that training and coaching doesn't happen just from coaches to the runners, it happens from all around. A 360-degree training and learning is what drives greatness. And it is within this context, I am super excited to bring to all of you the next three, I would say superhuman guests among us who have done something incredible in their lives. The common theme for these three guests are that they are simply regular, ordinary people, just regular, like any of us. But they decided to challenge the status quo, sort of break the glass ceiling, if they may, and do extraordinary things that you and I can only dream of. They do extraordinary things and thereby not only inspiring themselves but inspiring everyone around them. And this podcast is about tapping into that inspiration. That's what we're going to do today. Can't wait to unpack those stories. So let me invite my first guest. Welcome, Anu.
Hi, my name is Anu. I'm from Ohio, Marion. I'm living with my husband here. My husband is a doctor, anesthesiologist. I have a son, and my son, he's doing his residence in Kansas University in Kansas City. Originally, I'm from India, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. I completed my studies when I was living with my parents in India, and I did masters in sociology. After that, I got married, and my husband got me here. And here I'm living as a housewife to begin with. And then I tried to do something, and I achieved a few things in my life. So,
Visakhapatnam, which is on the eastern coast of India, to Ohio, that's a long journey as it is. And we have a lot of runners, the beautiful city of Visakhapatnam, right? With a wonderful coastline and such. So can't wait to hear. Looks like you're surrounded by doctors. Husband is a doctor. The
yes.
son is about to become a neurologist. Did you say? Wow, that's a good ambience to be with, and I can't wait to unpack your story. And let me invite the next guest, Arletta.
Hi there, Bala. My name is Arletta. I want to say thank you for inviting me onto your show. I currently live in Hillsborough, New Jersey. My husband and I moved here after we got married. I have two kids. I have a son and a daughter. My son is currently attending Rutgers University to get a degree in accounting, and my daughter works at a doctor's office. It's a surgical center for a gastroenterologist. We've lived here in New Jersey since 1990, and, I'm a housewife also, and I just love living here. And, it's been a great place to raise a family and get into running.
Yeah, very much so. And, a lot of my friends also live around the Hillsborough area. Beautiful place. Awesome. Welcome, Arletta. Can't wait to unpack your story as well. Let's finish this round of introduction.
Hi, I'm Rohini in Bridgewater, New Jersey. I have two sons. Well, they don't live with me anymore. They're men, I should say. One lives in Jersey City. He's a graphic designer and does computer design. So he's computer science major also. And my other son is he did international business and he's a graduate student right now at SUNY Albany. And my husband retired early because he went back to India to take care of his father, his only child. His father had some dementia, so he went back and he's back again after his father passed away. So, and I'm still working and I am a chemist. I worked at Immunomedics for 32 years, working on a breast cancer drug, which got approved by the FDA for triple negative breast cancer. And I worked on every single vial of the drug that the patients got, and it was approved based on phase 2. And there are 33% women in remission with that drug. And then now I'm working on a gene therapy drug for kids with rare disease for cardiomyopathy. And it's in clinical trials. And one infusion makes this kid back to normal. That's the crazy part of the story. And I love it. I love what I do. And I also run on the side. And that's me. That's it. That's it. Hopefully, I'll keep running and when I retire. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. What a fascinating, with all the AI and gene therapy, you are in the in the cusp of two incredible technology and
Yes.
science coming together to really solve some massive humanity problems. Something that all of us are in this AI world where they're thinking, what are the things that will advance? And I'm sure you know that
Right.
gene therapy, biotechnology is sort of right in the front. I mean, probably you're the first gene therapy chemist that I'm
It's
connecting
just
with, and
incredible.
it's incredible that
Yes.
your work is actually
One
impacting.
infusion.
What did you say? So many people breast cancer. Oh man, wow, wow. Thank you for your contribution to humanity on that. Personally, I know so many women friends who have gone through some issues or the other on the breast cancer side. So, amazing, Rohini. Thanks for doing all, and welcome all of you, Anu, Arletta, and Rohini for this short chat. So, audience, as I had mentioned, the theme for this, call it the next 30-40 minutes, is about unpacking a story of, I have no other words, greatness. That's all I can say. Where these three ladies have just been living a regular, normal life, as we just heard. Housewives, working, chemist, wife of a doctor, her mother of a doctor, upcoming doctor. Been in New Jersey, taking care of husband, taking care of kids, and yeah, spending some time on to themselves, do a little bit time to time, and then suddenly, you know, due to certain situations came together and decided, what the hell? Let me challenge the status quo. Let me do things and let's see what happens. And that's what these three have done. And let's unpack that story one after another. Let's start with Anu. So, Anu, you are a mom, housewife. I know that your son was whatever 6 7 years old. You made him join a martial arts program like every other mom does, and probably you are seeing him like not motivated or a little struggling or whatever. So as a mom, take
Yeah,
it
to
away.
begin with, when I started putting my son for the extracurricular activities, the first thing was martial arts. I took him to the YMCA and I registered him for the Taekwondo classes. There, nobody was there. He was only 6.5 years old when he first went there. And I thought, okay, why don't I just go and encourage him to do some classes? If I see more students in the classroom, then I can step back. But unfortunately, I did not see any students along with him. They came, they left. But I don't want my son to take the negative decision by stepping out of the program. So I thought, okay, let me join. Then I registered myself along with my son to support him. So I was just standing by and doing the classes with him. I did not have any interest in the beginning. And when I just learning more and more things in the Taekwondo, when I come to the purple belt, that's one of the highest rank in Taekwondo. So suddenly I changed myself from inside. I said, why don't I continue? Because by then it was like 3 4 years. Then I started putting more efforts in myself and go and stand next to that little kid and doing. And finally, I got a black belt in Taekwondo, and my son also got the black belt. And I was like, one time I was very jealous. He was breaking the board, so I couldn't break it. And instructor said, "Why didn't you
Oh
come
my
next?" I
goodness.
said, "No, I'm not coming next time. I'm going to break this board." And just
Wow.
we had to break. I did it.
Incredible.
Finally, I got who got the black belt in Richland County of Ohio, wherever I'm living. At the age
Wow.
of 10, nobody gets the black belt. He was only the one, all the black belt instructors they came and they just awarded him that one. And it was a big fight. We have to do a lot of efforts. We did not stop there, and the program was taken out from that pro area, and then they started karate. So right away, I jumped into the karate along with my son. There we had a lot of students, but finally we got the black belt, and we put another 5 years on top of that. I have a lot of experience in this. Since 17, 18 years, I'm in the martial arts program. My son became black belt third down. We had the ranks in there. So I'm the fourth one, and now I'm in charge of the Bible and Soul program at YMCA. I'm the chief instructor of martial arts at YMCA. I love my program. Lot of students come and I teach them. I never expect that in my life. That much I can say about my martial arts. I can't get out from that program. Rain or shine, I go there and it's like a 1 hour drive from me, from my place every day. Any season I am there. Before the members are there, I am there in for the martial arts program. Yeah, that's one of my achievement in my life.
Incredible. So,
Yeah.
audience, yep. So, audience, let's just unpack some of the golden nuggets that just the gift of giving happened with Anu. There's so many things that we need to unpack here. The headline news is a mom looks at her 6, 7 year old struggling in a in a martial arts program. If I was a dad, I would say that, hey, you're struggling. You know what? Forget about it. Let's not do these things and get yourself messed up. That's my reaction. Anu's reaction is not that. Anu's reaction is, you know what? Let me join you so that we can do this together. Which I can say 50% of mom like me that would do that. After that, gets motivated, goes along with the son, make the son do a 10 years old, finish a black belt. Now, just let's step back. There was a time when I hear someone do black belt, Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee are the two folks that I can imagine I don't know anybody else with a black belt. These are the two icons I can think of when I hear black belt. And here we are, a regular housewife. Not only doing a black belt in one field, which was Taekwondo, then goes about continuing that motivation and passion and does that black belt in fourth degree or something in karate, as if that was not enough. Went about breaking boards with her bare hands, like I can imagine the Bruce Lee kicks and that type of stuff. And then, as if that was not enough, continue that journey and start training people in the community and then become the head instructor in the local YMCA. And now there are a bunch of students training her. She has multiple Taekwondo, karate coaches under her and she designs the program. I mean, Anu, what a fantastic achievement. What a sense of resilience you brought in. The positivity that you got something, let me make something much better than that. And not only for myself, but for people around me. That is leadership. That is breaking the status quo. And that's why you are here. And that's why I'm inspired. And we all are inspired listening to your story. So we'll come back to it a little bit again in the next round. Let's go to Arletta.
Well, I wanted to get into running. My family used to run 5Ks, and every year we would say we're going to run with them. Every year being my husband and I. And finally, in 2011, it was a Thursday night after dinner, we tried to run a half a mile, and I could not even run really a half a mile. And I was kind of shocked that I couldn't run a half a mile. So I went out the next day and I tried again, and I still couldn't do it. And I started trying to do this half a mile every day, and it took me about 6 days. And I finally did that. And then I thought, okay, now I want to get to a mile. And so I kept running every day until I got to a mile. And then I thought, okay, now I want to get to 5K. And 9 weeks later, we ran our first 5K at Rutgers. And I fell in love with running. Being around the students and all these people, and it was such a joyous event. And so that led to me wanting to run even further. So then the next natural distance was a 10K. We started running a 10K. Then I started wanting to run further. So we went to a half marathon, and then my family joined in. And then finally, my first marathon was at Disney. I ran with my niece. And it was my first marathon, and some of my family ran. I was probably 45. I started at 43. Yeah, and I had been diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and like the disease was progressing. So I found running was just a good way to, eat healthier, and it just moving and not sitting around was just good for my body. but my love of running just progressed from that point. And then I saw Iron Man. My husband showed me Iron Man on TV, and I wanted to do that. I didn't know how to swim, so I had no idea how to swim, but I took swim classes and I stuck with it. And then I did, running. I kept running, but I also started doing short distance triathlon, bumped up to medium distance triathlon. I've done the New York City triathlon as a team with my family, and got into full Ironman, and then also have run marathons nonstop. And yeah, it's been a fun journey. My husband was diagnosed with cancer in stage 4, and it was renal cell carcinoma, and we were supposed to run New York City together, and it was just when he got diagnosed. And so he underwent treatment for a year. He was in a clinical trial, and so obviously we couldn't run the marathon. We were supposed to run it together, but I ran it the following year, and then he won his battle with cancer, and he's in remission. It did do some damage, but he's run New York City twice. He ran the Marine Corps before he got diagnosed. So yeah, running has just been a lifesaver. And my husband and I both believe that running, along with the clinical trial, along with wonderful scientists like Rohini, who have figured out how to make these medications to save people's lives, have brought us here. So we're very grateful to people like you, Rohini.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just an average,
Wow.
ordinary person.
Wow, Arletta, what a powerful story that is. Again, 43, never a runner before, housewife, having a debilitating condition, Crohn's disease. I know my good friends have that. It's, you got to be extremely careful with what you eat, and there's a lot of body reactions, etc. You got to be supremely careful, and it's something that it'll debilitate because your energy, there won't be any energy. You can't eat whatever you feel like. So why I'm bringing that energy part is, correct me if I'm wrong, Arletta, this is something you deal with, right, as part of the condition. What you put in, you can't eat anything you feel like. So, and then on top of that, never run before, have other husband, medical condition that has to be dealt with, doing a half a mile with a lot of difficulty, going from there to Boston qualification of full marathon, which itself is a crazy achievement. Getting qualified for Boston is meant for elite runners. For instance, runners, I've been running for 20 years. I can't even imagine me qualifying for Boston. I don't even think it's possible because I'm not that good from a speed standpoint. And here we have Arletta, who just started running at the age of 43 and with other situations, and then just qualified for Boston a couple of times. As if that was not enough. And those of you should know, some of you may not know what is an Ironman. So let me give you a little 2 seconds on that. Ironman is a race which makes full marathon just a small thing. Because full marathon itself is a 26.2 miles of running, which is like a pretty long distance. But an Ironman is, you get up in the morning at 4 o'clock or whatever, go and jump into a river nearby, a flowing river, not a swimming pool, an actual river or a pond, and swim for 2.1 miles.
I can tell you it's 2.4 miles. The professionals can do it in under an hour. It took me about, the first time it took me an hour and 45 minutes, and then the next time it was an hour and 35 minutes, and my third Ironman was my fastest at about an hour and 25 minutes.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, and the thing is, Rohini, and I know you got to appreciate here, is this person has never swum before. She just told, yeah, I've never swum before. So she has to learn swimming is the first step. But more important,
I never liked it.
yeah, and I have known swimming all my life.
And that, yes.
It is, see, that the point I wanted to, the point I want to make though here, guys, ladies, is swimming itself is hard. Swimming in swimming pool is okay. But when you get to open waters, which I did it, I swam for 25 years. I got into open waters and I had a panic attack. Because when you put your eyes inside water, it's dark. It's pitch dark. And you know you are in deep, deep water which is flowing, and suddenly you want help. You can't get help because you are in the open waters. Okay, and when you are in an Ironman running scenario, there are hundreds of athletes running, swimming along you. So there's a lot of water splashing on your face and all that. So what I'm trying to say is, just swimming 2.4 miles alone is a massive achievement for someone who has never done swimming. But you know what? He doesn't stop there. You finish the 1.5 hours of swimming, come out of the pool, change up into gears, and then bike what?
112 miles.
110 miles? Is that right, Arletta? 112 miles of biking. Something like New York City to Philadelphia, maybe. The biking that you got to do right after the swimming. And then, as if that is not enough, you finish that biking and then do a full marathon. So you are talking of 16, 17 hours of constant cardio activity for a lady who just started running at the age of 43, who just started swimming, I don't know, at the age of 45, have a debilitating medical condition, have a family to take care of, and then not doing it once, not doing it twice, doing it 3 times.
Thank you.
Arletta, hats off to you. That's an inspiration. That's an inspiration beyond any words can say. That just shows 2 amazing qualities that you have shown: commitment and resilience. These are the 2 things that needs to be in place for you to do what you just now did. Committed to the cause. You also shared that. She had a commitment that, hey, I not only want to make my kid do well, I just want to just take this on and just be amazing in that myself. And also share it with my entire community. That is commitment, folks. That is when great things happen. And then resilience. There is always going to be a problem when you do big things. Big things don't happen easily. In fact, the bigger the things, the bigger is the problems that you need to get out of. Just because you have a problem doesn't mean that you shy away. You just dig in, keep doing that, cry, laugh, struggle, get motivation, but never lose sight of the end. When you do that, you become an Arletta, you become an Anu. Let's talk about Rohini.
I started running. I had also never run before. I grew up in a conservative Catholic family in Sri Lanka, where we had to come home by the 4 girls. I'm the youngest of 4 girls, and then 2 brothers. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. My mother wanted us home by 6 p.m. I never ran in my life. She never let us do any sports in school. And it's only study, and that's it. We have 7 physicians, my like family, my nieces, nephews, they're physicians too. My 2 sisters are physicians who are here. And so then in 1997, I thought, okay, I can maybe join my husband in running 1 mile, and I couldn't do it. It took me 1 year to do a 5K. I kept at it though. I kept at it. I did 10Ks just like Arletta. And then in 2000, I did my first half marathon and ran it in 2:08. And I was stunned to myself. And I was like, wow, maybe I can run. So then 2002, I did my first marathon in 4:37. And I said, hey, maybe I can run marathons too. And my sisters are like physicians who are here. I said, okay, maybe I can do something too, which is probably not being an MD. I was a chemist, but I can do something else. So I started running. And in 2004, I qualified for Boston. And then I just kept on. And I said, okay, maybe I can do all the states. So by 2014, I finished all 50 states. And in the meantime, I had probably done New York a couple of times, Boston a couple of times, Philadelphia probably 5 times. And then I continued. And finished all the majors of the world. I ran Berlin. Berlin was my fastest race. And that was I ran in 2004. And then I went to do all continents. And I was thinking, how about running in Antarctica? I never thought I would do that. And I did go to Antarctica, and it was COVID time. We had to wait till 2022. And I went to Antarctica. And by then, my right knee was bone to bone. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I don't care how long it takes. And I completed it. I also did the Great Wall Marathon. And that was ridiculous because I started at 88 degrees. Half the people said, we are not doing it. It's too hot. And they just dropped out and did the half marathon and went home. I said, no, I came here to do the full. I shall finish it. And I finished it. It was 105 degrees. And you had to go up 2,500 steps
Wow.
at 105 degrees. And I was crawling up the steps to go up. And then you had to come down again to the finish line. So, but I did it. And so I've done about 86 marathons so far. And I also did the JFK 50 miler, which was opened by JFK for the elite, for the New York, for the Army and the Navy SEALs. And I've done that. I did that twice. And I've done a couple of ultras. I've run from Trenton to New Brunswick on the towpath a couple of times, the train run.
Wow.
And then I started coaching the Asha team. That's how I got to know, I guess, Bala through, one of the Asha team members. I coached the Asha team and also I brought runners through the finish line. And that was the most incredible thing I've done with the runners, to bring them through a marathon finish line and just see their faces smile and say, thank you. And then I had coaching teams at work. At Minimedics, I had teams for 20 odd years, and then right now we have a team at Rocket where I work too. So, and this is all volunteer coaching, and I love doing it.
Wow. And oh my God, what a story.
I was 44 years old. Yeah.
You got your first marathon at the age of 44. And I think couple of years max.
Yes, I
you
started
for
running
the first time.
in
Looks
my
like when I
40s.
heard your story.
I've never run in my life.
That's what.
And then what?
Very similar to
Other thing is, almost 5 months ago, I had to get a knee replacement, and I did my first 5K last Sunday, and I placed in my age group. So I did 11 odd minute mile in my 5K. And
That's
yesterday
great.
I ran 9 miles, and I have another 5K for cardiomyopathy next Sunday in Morristown. So it doesn't matter my knee replacement. I'm coming back to running because I'm just dedicated and I love it. I just love being outside.
Yeah. Think about this, audience. Think about this. The lady starts off at the age of 41, like Arletta, around that age, just started running. It's not as if they were athletic in the past and they just realize, okay, let me start. The thing is, the beauty about this, guys, that's what we try to teach all of our runners. It is about just getting started first. Let's just get started. It is about getting started first. When you start, some problems will be resolved. After that, it is all about building on that start, which is what you see Rohini, Arletta, Anu, they all did that. They didn't stop there. Starting is hard, but once you start, you don't stop after that. And from someone who just started his first 5K run or 10K, whatever Rohini did, to all 50 states marathon, all marathon majors, 85 plus full marathons. And I remember you were mentioning like 7 or 8 marathons a year is your sort of 6 or 7 marathons a year is your rhythm that you have. 6, 7 marathons. Think about that. That's a large distance, a large distance. And then she doesn't stop there. She becomes a coach. She teaches an Asha group of runners, sort of people who are in the company and teaching them running. It's all about giving the gift of health to people. And she does it pro bono that you all are used to. And now you probably, one of you are asking, why do we do this? While we don't do it at the level of Rohini, but that's really what we do. Giving the gift of health is the greatest you can give to people, greatest gift you can give to people. Anu does that in the form of martial arts training for her community. Arletta inspires. Rohini does the same thing. That is the group here, folks. That is the group here. Ordinary folks doing extraordinary things. So let me come back to you, Rohini, for the next round of short discussion. When you look back, having done so many different things, what is one moment that you really felt amazing when you look back at your life? I mean, 85 marathons now. I mean, every moment is amazing, of course. But
I
there must
think
be one or
if
two
you want
moments
to
that
do
you
something,
really
you
felt.
can do it.
Which was
And just the dedication. I think running is 90% psychological. It's 10% effort. You just need a little bit of effort saying, I can do this. You just have to in anything, right? Even at work. Because I was doing monoclonal antibodies in breast cancer. Then I went to gene therapy. Then I was like, wait a minute, I've been making MABs, and now I have to do a viral vector. And how do I do it? But all you have to tell yourself is, I can do it. And guess what? I'm very good at it now. So, and same with running. Like this morning before coming to this podcast, I went to, because it's supposed to rain today, I went to Duke Island Park and I did 4.5 miles. And I said, I have to get this in before I do the podcast. But it's all in you. It's what you want to do. And if you want to do something, you can do it.
Wonderful, Rohini. Alita, but when you look at the various races and various things you completed, which moment in those races that you feel really very close to your heart, and for any reason, anybody?
In all honesty, I would have to say it was finishing my first Ironman, not because I finished it, but because my family was there with me. And my son had never been to a race with me, and he drove up to Lake Placid, and he was there at it was Lake Placid, and he was
Lake
there at the
Placid,
finish
yeah.
line, and just seeing my family, my friends, and having them there for that moment was everything to me. And just knowing that your age and your gender, it doesn't matter. There's no, like Rohini said, there is no limit because
No limit.
you're a certain
You should
age.
stop there.
This is an old way of thinking, that maybe our parents had, that, when you turned a certain age, you stopped and you sat on the couch and you watched TV. And that's obviously not us, and us as in this group. This group seems to, take a look around and say, what more can I do? What can I learn about myself? And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me from running is all these other things that it opened up for me, and these friendships and the people that have come into my life, and it's self-discovery, and that has been great.
Absolutely. And you talked about that moment, Alita. Yeah, no, Alita, you were talking about that moment that when you crossed the finish line for the first Ironman, how many hours you were sort of by that time? How many hours you were on the field?
So the
when you
first one that
crossed
I did
the
was
finish line?
Ironman was in Lake Placid, and it's a very, very challenging course. It's the swim is nice, it's in a lake, but both the bike and the
Tough
run
one.
are very
Yeah,
challenging with hills. And I estimated it would take me about 14 and a half hours, and it took me exactly 14 and a half hours. The second one took me longer because they did again Lake Placid, changed the bicycle course, and it became even harder. That one took me 15 hours and 15 minutes. And my third one was a race called Challenge Roth. It was in Germany. And that one, the cutoff was 15 hours. So I had to finish that one in less than 15 hours. About mile 35 on the bike, I got knocked off my bike by somebody. And I skid across the road. And I got up, I checked my bike, and got back on my bike and finished. And once I finished that bike, I thought, well, if I did this, I'm going to finish, the run. And I finished that one in 14 hours, 14 minutes, and 14 seconds.
That's incredible.
Wonderful. Yeah.
My husband was there,
I mean,
my family was there, and they kept saying to me, like, you better hurry up, you don't have that much time. But I didn't look at the clock. I just keep moving forward. Just keep moving. Don't stop.
That's what we all should do.
unbelievable. Audience, yeah, 14, 15 hours of continuous aerobic activity. That's not for the light-hearted. That's not for the light. That's why it's called Iron Man. I think it's a mistake. We should call it Iron Women. What do you mean Iron Man? These are Iron Women in front of us. Incredible. Anu, when you look back at your own life, so many achievements, what is one or two moments that you really remember and feel very proud of?
Learning Indian classical dance, Bharatanatyam, in India. That was a very precious moment for me because my mom was the first person who encouraged me a lot, and my father too. And I got certified and I got some degrees over there. And then I started teaching after coming here. And one of my students, they did the Arangetram. stage performance first time, and I also teach Bollywood dances for the local students and the adults. And whenever we have some parties like functions, Indian functions, they perform. Recently, I trained like a 3 to 4 American students, not students, my members in the class, they're 80 plus. They did no, Bollywood dances for one of the Indian function. That was really awesome. That was nice. I used all my skills, and thanks to my mom, I wish she's looking at me at this moment. Really, I am so grateful to my parents and especially my mom who encouraged me to do this. And I really like it. Even I taught that to some of my son's classmates too. They used to perform on the stage that Indian classical dance. Yeah.
Wow. So apart from the Taekwondo Karate black belt, you also go learn and teach Indian classical song, and now you
Yes.
make your 80-year-old students perform. Oh my God. What is that? That's another wonderful facet. Anu, talking of that, the one is the Taekwondo side of things, one is this dancing side of things. I think you do something amazing on the
Right.
meditation side as
I'm
well,
I'm
right?
an
Why don't you
art of
talk a
living
little bit about
teacher.
that?
I started my art of living journey like 5 6 years back, 7 years back, and I just went there, and I don't know how I got into that program, but I got introduced by myself, I think, by looking at one of the postings in WhatsApp. So I just vaguely I went there and I started doing my workshop, and I did not leave it because I got into that for some reason. So since 6.5 years, daily I do my breathing and yoga. I'm talking only from the art of living. It's a sky workshop. Every day I do that. It gives me a lot of energy. And every day I do practice. I teach students in the evening between 7 and 8:30, no matter what. Wherever I am, even in the jungle, I get the that Wi-Fi. And that's God's grace. Usually you don't get that Wi-Fi, but at that moment I get that one. I finish as soon as I finish 1.5 hour done. The Wi-Fi is gone if I'm out of the house. So that's really inspires me a lot, and lot of people they do join, they do classes. I do the workshops every month, and that's a meditation which I do not want to. Yes,
Every day 6 to 7:30 p.m. meditation
Se-
for everybody,
seven
and you've been
years.
doing it for
Yeah,
how many years now
7.
that you're offering this?
No, no way
And
I can miss
you
it.
haven't
And
missed
I
a
do
single
my
day thus
meditation
far?
twice a day, morning and evening. And no way I can I can miss that one. And I maintain the groups I joined the group like meditation logging. It's like more than 1,000 days or something. It's there in my meditation group. I was the highest in that group. Every day I do, and yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank
Yes, he's so calm.
and
Incredible.
sometimes I do conduct meditation classes apart
Yeah, it
from
takes
my regular
dedication.
group. People join from America and India also for those classes. And the people who are in need, like sometimes the domestic problems, some
Very
people
nice.
really they do have some kind of issues at home. I myself went to them and I will tell them that I want to do meditation with you. And I do meditation with them online, and that helps them a lot. Lot of people we don't even know. Lot of people they have issues. They
Brilliant.
don't come out from the house unless you talk to them.
Awesome. That's leadership. That's leadership, Anu. Rohini, as you look forward, are you doing something or you focus
Uh,
on anything that you
I
want to do
wanted to tell you
in the
was
future?
so last year my older son ran the Chicago Marathon, and being at the finish line when he finished, that was the most incredible thing. I was like, wow! So I almost kind of gave the baton of running marathons to him. So he's run two marathons already, and then he's hoping to do another one next year. He's injured right now, so he runs pretty fast. He runs too fast, so he's waiting to do another one next year. And my near future is to run a half
Brilliant. Of course.
marathon, even after a knee replacement. I don't know whether I'm allowed to do that or not. So I'm going to go see my sports MD and see where I can stop or where I can, what I'm able to do. But I'm not gonna stop. So I love being outside, and it keeps you healthy. I'm the youngest of I told you of six, and my whole family has like high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I'm the only one who is not on a single medication, and I keep fit. Yes.
There you go. By the way, your sun doesn't fall too far away from the tree, as they say. So that's phenomenal. Arletta, what are you looking at? Anything, any future events that is
Well,
exciting
I'm running
coming up?
Philadelphia again, the marathon coming up in November, but I'm hoping I got into the Tokyo Marathon.
Oh, nice. It's a beautiful marathon.
Yeah, it'll be number 6 for me. So I just did London in April, so I'll have completed my marathon majors. Well, the 6, and now they have
I did
added
Sydney.
on, but I'll at least have hopefully that done. So I don't want to jinx myself, but yeah. So that's in March of 26.
Congratulations, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. What about you? Anything, any exciting thing
In the
coming
short,
up in the short term?
not right now, but I was thinking of swimming and running after listening to the friends here. I don't mind that,
Ah,
honestly.
We'll do it.
That's what I had to do. I had to get my swimming done.
Yeah.
No, knowing Anu, knowing Rohini, you get inspired by these stories, and suddenly Iron women that just got made 1 year from now because you just decided. All you have to do is just decide. After that, everything flows from there. I mean, that's who you all are. Let's bring the podcast to a conclusion with the last round of questions. So before I get there, Rohini, Arletta, and Anu, as you consider various races, know that the running organization that we run, as I said, right, part of that is to have fun. Health, when you're healthy, you can have fun, which is the point. And then going to these various cities and running is like a special set of fun. So we have a large contingent of people going to various races within our organization. Like Philly, for instance, I know there's a bunch of folks are going there. My point of bringing that up is next time when you go and you need a group, you want to be together, just have some fun together, reach out to me and we'll connect you with our group that is going. So in that way, after this podcast, I'm sure everyone would love to at least say hi to you live face to face. So I invite you to join our club. We have Jan 26th of this month. We have a race day for the season ending race day. I invite you to join us and just
yeah,
spend,
thank you.
maybe do a 5K or something. I mean, we give all races. It's just a small races for our own self. You can come in. It's a beautiful fall in New Jersey, Colonia Park. Riverside, we run about 200 runners run. We have chief guest medals, and then we give lunch after that. So be my guest, come and join us. And I know it might be a little far away for you, but do that, and would love to have you and experience what we offer to our
Thank you.
runners. And I'm sure people would love.
It's on the
to connect with you
26th of
and share your
October?
experience. But let's go on the
25th of October. Okay.
25th of October,
Okay, thank you.
Saturday. I'll send you information. So let's go to the last round of, and we'll start with you, Arletta. When you think about the audience here, many of them beginning to run 5Ks, 10Ks, first time half marathons, first time full marathons. And there are, of course, return runners too, who've been, almost all of us are amateur too, like couch too. That's the segment. We are not like into the college segment and things like that. So what words of advice you can give based on your own life learnings on how to think about doing these things, and
Well, I
any
would
words of wisdom
say
would be awesome.
everyone who has done this was once a beginner, and it was just a matter of, being determined to make it happen. I wasn't a runner and until I was. And, I just took it slow and did tiny distances, added on, went at my own pace, and, just committed myself to it. And I think if you can do that, and not talk yourself out of it, and join a club, make some friends, and your friends will really, really help you through. And it makes running fun. I typically run by myself just because of my schedule. I like to be out early. And, I just go out and can get a run in. But you'll meet the most wonderful people. And when you are in a place in your life where things get difficult, you have a network of people who understand where you're coming from. And you have a lot more similarities with people than you do differences. And That's what I have gotten from the running community, triathlon community, my neighborhood, for people who run here. Just I've learned to, just look beyond what I thought was possible. And self-discovery.
Yeah.
It's just self-discovery. You can do more than you think you can.
Keep an open mind and
Don't-
just
don't be
don't be
afraid of
afraid to
looking
challenge the
silly.
status quo is basically what I'm hearing.
Everyone looks silly when they first start running, or anything. I'm sure Anu might have felt silly
Exactly.
doing karate, but you keep at it and you learn and you get good at it.
My
Anu,
wisdom
your
is
thoughts?
everybody should
Words
go
of
to the
wisdom?
exercises, especially older adults and seniors and everyone. Being healthy is very important for everyone. Go and do some aerobic activity, like running is an aerobic activity, swimming is an aerobic activity. That's very, very, very essential. And it also improves your balancing when you're doing all these activities. And also, like, do Zumba. Zumba is good for your balancing. People do not understand, but everybody can do Zumba according to the teacher and particular class they're going. And when it comes to yoga, yoga is good. Any age group can do yoga. It improves the flexibility, and you won't get hurt when you listen to the teacher. So they will be there behind you, and they will guide you, and they will do everything that you wanted you to do. So these are all very, very important. My sincere advice to everyone: go and do something to lead your healthier life. Thank you.
So I'm a little crazy. I do 2 to 3 hours of workout every day. So I am a member of the JCC. They have a fitness club. So I do 10 to 12 classes a week, and I try to do 30 to 35 miles of walk run a week. So at work, I take 10 minutes to eat lunch, and then I'm outside walking, and then I get other people to walk with me because a lot of young people work for me. They're in their 20s. All they do at lunchtime is go to the cafeteria and look at their phone and either play games or watch something, watch movies or whatever. So I say, you know what? Come with me for a walk. So that's what I do. And in fact, my CEO told me the other day that he was trying to run the New York City Marathon and he wanted coaching. I said, yeah, sure. I'll help you. I think anybody can do anything they want if they want, if they're dedicated. So my suggestion to anybody wants to start running is first walk. And then when you're walking, even 30 minutes, like next week that you walk, do 9 minutes of walking, 1 minute of jogging, and do it that way. And then decrease your walking, increase your jogging, and you will get to running or doing some kind of walk run is fine too. Every 2 minutes you walk and then 2 minutes you run. I mean, you don't have to run, you can jog. Just think about other people who are just sitting in their couches and watching TV, and you're outside walking or doing something is better than sitting at home and watching TV. So for anybody to keep healthy, I think you should work out and spend some time out, outside, get fresh air, you know, because going outside running really doesn't is not that expensive. All you have to do is wear a pair of sneakers, go outside, and get fresh air. You get fresh air and you have become healthy. So that's my thing to anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. I'm in my 60s now. I'm in mid 60s. I'm still outside and I still work out 2 to 3 hours a day.
Can I add one thing to this? Can I add one thing? Also, strength training. Some type of strength training. It is, as you age, your muscle mass decreases.
Exactly.
And I know when you're young, you think that it's going to last forever, and it's not. So if you can get a head start, you'll be healthier going into your 40s
and 60s.
And as I'm going into my 60s, I'm being very thoughtful about that. So yeah, strength training is important too, I think, for overall health.
So Arletta, I do body pump twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow.
I do body combat 2 to 3 times a week. I do functional fitness. I do body balance, and I do yoga. So those are my classes that I do. That helps me to keep my muscle mass and also to keep me fit.
Yeah, it's important.
It's
Yeah.
very important. Yeah.
Especially if it is 60 plus, we must do the strength training
Wow.
because we
Yes.
cannot
Exactly.
get any muscle. We need to maintain the muscle. Then
Correct.
Without muscle, you can't do any of this. So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's it.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Folks, these are like, yeah, see, these are golden nuggets coming from supreme athletes. While they are like, they just sort of say, I'm just a, I'm just a housewife, blah, blah, blah. No, they are supreme athletes. They've done some incredible stuff, as you just heard. And the words of wisdom that is coming out, if I have to summarize, strength training, muscles,
Yeah.
important. These are core stuff. You can't just wish your way to doing these things. You got to work hard and be smart on things that you need to do. So strength training, yoga, Anu was talking about mind balance, body balance, soul balance. It's all important for you to get there. Get started. 90% is in the mind, as somebody said that, which is another wonderful thought process. Getting started is half. And then there's one more thing that came out. Micro adjustments of your life. Lunch for 5 minutes, 45 minutes of walking around. Those are micro adjustments. These are small things that add up. If you find yourself saying, I don't have any time, all you're telling is you're not creative enough to find and make time for things that are important. That's what you're saying. And lunch, making use of lunch is a way of creating time. So where there is a will, there is a way. And that's why they say 90% in the mind. If your mind is decided, it will give you pathways to do all of these things. If your mind is clogged and saying that, oh my God, I'm already 45, I have a kid to take care of, my husband to take care of, I've already lost my time, you will not do much. But the minute you start challenging the status quo, like these three incredible ladies have shown us with their life's example, magic can happen.
That's right.
Age is just a number. Clearly, it's so clear here. All your speed breakers in life is just a small speed breaker that you can always get over by resilience. And thirdly, don't be satisfied with just yourself. The moment you achieve greatness, the true greatness happens when you spread it and give it to others. You can see all three of them, they do it time and again, they do it. And the very fact they are here is also an extension of that thought process. Let me share my story so that I can share some learnings. So, Anu, Rohini, Arletta, what an incredible, I can't believe we almost spent an hour chatting and we just went by so quickly. Thank you for sharing your inspirational stories. Thank you for being who you are, showing the world that what you can do by just deciding and then committing to that. Can't wait to continue my friendship with all of you. I'm sure all the runners in the audience who is going to listen to this will take away a lot of cool things in their life that will change the trajectory of their lives. So thank you so much. Continue inspiring
Thank you.
humanity.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And looking forward to seeing you on the 26th of October.
And just keep moving forward. Just keep moving.
And keep smiling.
25th. Yes, keep moving forward.
Thank you very much, Bala.